What's cracking, everybody? This is Lucky Loco with the Lucky Loco Show. Today, I want to do a little something different, something about the 90s. Something always about the 90s resonates with me, man. Suck in it. Still love the fashion. Still love to get down. Still love my Broncos. Just the 90s, man. Just the whole vibe, the whole feel, the whole memories, the whole get down, man. The 90s were a blast. I was born in 78, so growing up through the 80s on up. The 80s was dope. 80s, I got introduced to rap. What's cracking, everybody? Thank you for tapping in. Just chopping it up. 90s style. Want to talk about the 90s. Fun year. It was for me, anyways. My adolescence, the beginning of life choices. You know, was was some great times, man. The 90s was just had a whole different cool vibe to it, man. So growing up in the 80s, uh, I was talking with um, Kimmel Flicks about the 80s, about the whole, it was, love you too, son. I love you too, son. And I asked him on one of his comments on one of his videos, was just like, man, the 80s was just, what's up? Asked if he knew, or if that was Frog from Colors. And we start chopping up and start talking about childhood memories of Colors when that came into play. Man, that was a crazy movie. My uncle took me to go see it. It was, man, something different, man. Something crazy, something wild. It was um it was something really brand new. So, this was while I was in Canada, and you know, it wasn't like how the movie was out there at all. It's still hardly, it still has its moments out there. And it was just yeah, it was just some fun. It was some fun moments. So that's when, at that time, I was jamming out to AC/DC, Metallica. Hey, what's going up, group in the 90s? Colors. Everybody wanted to be a gangster on the res. Man, no lie, dude. I was like 8, 9 years old, and it brought like a whole different vibe, dude. It was, and then it kind of bled into like the community, but yeah, Colors was like one of the early 90s, because I know it was like the 80s watching that stuff, right? So that's when I was listening to Metallica, uh Guns N' Roses. I was listening to who else was that? Def Leppard, Rat. I was Quiet Riot, uh just the whole like rock, and I still do. But I went to go see the movie Colors, and that flipped like the whole like get down I was wearing. I was wearing the fucking stonewashed jeans, and uh was it just whatever shirt they had in the 90s. It was they had a whole different get down, man. It was nuts. It was like that changed my whole like like flat brim hat to like brought up watching that Colors, and then get into a whole different, it was like a whole different style of music too. That's when I got introduced to Ice-T, NWA, and that was just like it led me to a whole different Public Enemy. Who else was out there? Flavor Flav started doing his own thing. Even their DJ started getting into stuff, man. But yeah, Colors was an icon, man. That was like the whole, had that dude play as, was it Rocket? He's a pretty big actor now. So every time I see him in a movie, he's older, obviously, but I always remember him walking to the jail cell, listening to Colors. Dude. Oh yeah, man. There's, man, heavy metal, most definitely, dude. Especially like the old, yeah, even the new, bro. Like just the whole, Like my whole playlist, if I showed you my Spotify playlist, it has everything from like I said, the oldies to country to golden country to new things. As you can tell, I got my little brats at home. So I just want to jump on and start talking about like the '90s, like the whole, like man, because you could the '90s music is definitely it started once it started getting commercialized. I want to be I was chopping it up with yeah, I think it was Kimmel Flixon was talking about like the MC Hammer pants. NWA changed the whole swagger. They did. They definitely like it. It definitely did. It started bringing light. I remember knowing the lyrics to "Dope Man" when I didn't even know what the hell the "Dope Man" was. You know what I mean? I didn't know what a strawberry was. I was just a little kid listening to all this stuff, and then NWA came out with that. A bitch is a bitch. And what else? Like, man, they had like all these like little weird albums too. They had this one that was like the Easy Does It. Um, yeah, I started listening to all of that. Then it just started getting into like more. They changed the whole because it was like a party. You know what I mean? Whenever you listen to rap music, it had because bedtime stories. I had it wasn't really like bringing um, the raw essence of gang banging. The whole like it didn't show the whole street life. It just showed like a whole different outcome. So it was just it was crazy, but but just the '90s, man. Just talk, like I said, just talking to friends and like bringing up the whole like MC Hammer pants. Even though I never really listened to MC Hammer, like I said, I was too much into NWA, the Doc, um, Paris. Who else was out there in the '90s, man? Definitely LL Cool J, Eric B. Rakim. Uh, who else, man? Big Daddy Kane. Uh, Yeah, just the whole like, and then as crazy as you can tell, like Broncos. I have pictures of me with like wearing Broncos stuff, and as a little kid, I have pictures of me wearing a lot of Raiders stuff and LA Kings hats just because of NWA and Ice T. Just like Biggie said, to me it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines, hanging pictures on my wall. That's exactly. It was crazy. I used to have pictures of Easy E, Doctor. Yeah, I was getting right into that. Yeah, because that's when we started. Like the Word Up magazine, I used to fucking take the main cover out. It had like a picture of Ice T and his wife, or Easy E, KRS-One. Just had all these cool pictures that before the internet, and you had to get your radio play or word of mouth. Oh, have you heard of this dude? And you go into a fucking record store looking for it, and then find the cassette tape, and it'd be like either in a big like anti-theft fucking plastic thing, and you've got to bring it up, they take it out, bring your cassette tape. You're super happy, and then you look in the middle of the cassette tapes in the back. They would give shout outs to all the people they endorsed. So if Ice T, like you said, like this Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Spice One, and it would have like a whole get down of all the people they endorsed, of all the people that they got. Like it was just nuts. I just remember like, oh man, Spice One said Ant Banks too short, he giving all his homies a shout out on his cassette tape. And sometimes they even bless you with like the lyrics and the bars in the back of the cassette tapes that showed who produced, what the song is, how long the song, and then sometimes I was never able to. I was super poor as a kid, so I wasn't able to order the merchandise that they had on the back of the cassette tapes. But yeah, it could definitely the '90s. I was gonna get into like when they split up and started going after Ice Cube. Then Ice Cube started going after NWA and just killed them with that song "No Vaseline." Um, they killed it with the whole man. What else? Yeah, then that's when Snoop Dogg came in with 187 on the Undercover Cop or whatever that was. And that whole beat, I just remember listening. I was like, damn, dude, that was sick. I remember watching that movie, Deep Cover. And Deep Cover, and that was another thing about the 90s too. Let's get into that. When you seen a movie, they fucking like the artist before YouTube and all this other stuff. Like they had the artists, they had all the people that was like soundtracks. That's what I'm gonna get into. Yeah, the soundtracks were definitely on hit. It was, I'd definitely say, the best soundtrack for a movie. Um, was obviously Boys in the Hood when they first started doing that. Boys in the Hood. Then they had Menace to Society, Tales from the Hood, uh, Jason's Lyric. Uh, what else they have? They had just the soundtracks. Like if a movie was coming out, you knew it was banging. All up till like before the internet, before YouTube, before all the other stuff. They had the soundtracks, which you knew, and then there was some of them like before, like in the '90s. If you dug a song or you heard a song on TV, like MTV or BET, and then you're like, man, I'm gonna go check out that artist, and then you go buy that CD, and then that CD would have like maybe two good songs, and the rest would be trash. And you're just like, man, I paid fucking $22 for that one song to be heard, or But it was fun. Like it started getting into like the whole era of NWA. Okay, so let's rewind it back to NWA's brought a whole different swagger, brought a whole different vibe, and brought a whole different. And then movies like showing what the culture is like. '90s, they come out with American Me. Everybody started getting cholo down, Simone Holmes, and just the whole they brought that whole like Kid Frost, lighter shade of brown. What was that? Ma Vida Loca. That's another '90s movie. Ma Vida Loca. That brought a whole different, man. That talk about a soundtrack. That one had lighter shade of brown. I believe Psycho Realm. I remember I never got sick of any of those songs on when I bought that lighter shade of brown. Like does that. I got two lovers. They did. I mean, they killed it, man. And then the American Me soundtrack. That was talk about another, man. Oldies, Kid Frost, all this other stuff, man. Uh, yeah, the West Coast at that time in the '90s had it on lock. They ran every like genre from Chicano rap. I mean, they had the Mellow Man Ace and stuff like that. They had a couple people out the East Coast, but man, there wasn't like hitting like how, like you said, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and then Tupac started coming out too with "I Get Around" and the whole like party. I remember the first time hearing Onyx in the '90s. The '90s was definitely, I mean, like it was just, oh my God, you ain't lying, man. Yeah, the New Jack City soundtrack. That one was the shit too, man. And the new Hustler. Yeah, that was. I'm a New Jack, and then yeah, he Ice T. And to be honest, man, I really looked up to Ice T as a little kid, so that's another thing I wanted to get into. So like the whole, it was crazy, insane to watch like Ice T on TV and start, and because I remember watching his music videos and then seeing him on movies. No trust. I think it was called Trespass with him, Ice Cube, Debo. Man, there was a shitload of people in that movie, and I just remember watching Trespass, Boys in the Hood, seeing Ice Cube get into the whole movie scene, and like it was. And this is, like I said, this is before YouTube. So I used to have my homeboy that I never had a patience like he did to watch MTV for like the little half hour scene that they had. Yeah, yep. Yep, yep. That's what I was just gonna get into right now, man. Is my homeboy would, yeah, like you said, dub record the whole episode, the half hour they had for music at that time, because rap wasn't the way it was. People were going against it. Yeah, Lighter Shade of Brown, man, they're definitely, yeah, they're badass, dude. And I still listen to them. And and that has like the whole scene of like, yeah, we would he would record all the music videos and go play, like you said, go play it. You know, you'd be like, hey man, we're throwing a party. Oh man, yeah, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, Mine's Playing Tricks on Me. That was, yeah, hearing that, and then hearing that horrorcore that Bushwick Bill was doing are just insane. The song Chucky, um, and Mine's Playing Tricks, Mind of a Lunatic. Then they started getting into Big Mike, Fifth Ward Boys, Gangster Nip, South Park Psycho. Uh, Man, it's just talking about the '90s like resonates. I mean, this is, I got my family, got my whole thing going right now. It just brings back memories of adolescence, a time of when we were figuring things out, and especially, like especially on the res, man. There was certain stuff like they would say. I remember Black Sheep. I was just listening to that the other day. You could get with this, you could get with that, you could get with this, or you can get with that. And then then he was like, Black Sheep of the Native. I was like, what, is he native? Like, it was like, damn, all right, cool. And that's when Lightfoot started coming out too. And then Lightfoot was spitting flows of, you know, it was always trying to, because, the hip hop is basically black culture too, man. And then you had the Chicanos had Mellow Mayonnaise. Mellow Mayonnaise. They had Kid Frost. They had Lighter Shade of Brown, and then we had Lightfoot. And so when listening to Lightfoot and and he was sick, bro. Like he was sick with his flows and his storytelling too, man. And he was just just fun times. I mean, I'm looking up at at my uh my wall. I got Clone of Jakar just for the sake of the '90s, man. It was fun times. Like that was when Loonies had five on it. Like you said, there would be like recordings of just recordings of like you said, the dubs of the VHS. Like my homeboy would have like it may be the same song every other like episode, but it was fun because in that half hour he would go up and press pause, like right when a commercial would hit, and then you'd on pause and then do like the little interview. And like you said, the Ghetto Boys, like whenever that came on, do 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 do, like everybody knows that. Like everybody knows that little beat, do 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 do. And it's like, damn, dude. Like I remember I was sitting in, even like years later, some white dude, some like like Aryan type dude that I was in prison with, and he came up to my room and he was all do 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 do. I was like, what the fuck? I said, I don't even know you're allowed to listen to that music. Like shit, man, I don't give a fuck. So I listened to all that Ghetto Boys, and it's like, damn, all right. And he's like, we won't tell nobody. Well, yeah, Ghetto Boys. Then they started branching off to, like I said, they started bringing out like a whole different genre of people that, who else started coming out from down south? MJG and 8 Ball, UGK. Oh my God, UGK was the first time I heard them was on the Menace to Society soundtrack. Got a pocket full of stones. It's like, damn. It was, yeah, it was. And then Menace to Society came out Friday. I went to go see Friday in the movie theaters. That one was a big hit. That was a dope ass soundtrack right there too. Had all kinds of people on that. Dub C, all can Um, what else? Yeah, I love you too, son. Who else was what else about the 90s? Naughty by Nature. Naughty by Nature started coming out. And then that movie Juice. Juice was a good soundtrack. The Uptown Anthem, that one was a shit. And that's when you start seeing like little snippets of Tupac in the music video with this red fucking starter jacket, the UNLV starter jacket. The with the hat backwards, a little bit of gold, because I guess back in the day they weren't really making too much money, and you could see how untouched they were. They were just glad to have their music put out like that too. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, yeah. This year Halloween fell on the weekend. Me and the Ghetto Boys were out trick or treating. Oh man, we were taking these Gangish. What's cracking, dude? You want to jump on and talk about the 90s? Let's see. Let's get Gangish out. Let's see. We got a little bit of time. Let's see. Post chat. But yeah, the 90s was definitely make it, break it type of vibe. It was, yeah, Busher Bill killed it on that one, bro. That verse was dope. I like that one second. I like that one. He's like, often drift when I drive, having fatal thoughts of suicide. Man, that and banging to get it over with. Man, now you're gonna make me fucking throw that shit on today and jump. Aquatic Amigo got Gangish, got BRJ up in here, and yeah, the whole 90s. Let me see the breakthrough of like in Living Color. They got a fucking little half hour. I think it was a half hour skit. My mom would let me stay up late and watch that, man. It was because at the end, and then at the end of it, they would have like leaders of the new school jump on and dance around singing. Man, little Timmy, what's cracking? Good morning, you guys, man. I didn't think too many people was gonna jump on, man. Juice Tupac, yeah, he just brought a whole different vibe to it, man. It was what's up, Gangish?
What up? What's
Man,
cracking?
just up early in the morning, just vibing about the 90s, bro.
What about fanny packs, homie?
Oh man, you ain't lying. I had the Batman one. I had the Batman fanny pack. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. I was talking about that too. I was bringing up like the stone. What's that? Stonewash or acid wash jeans that they wear
yeah,
now again. Like they
yeah.
had that, the shirt, the fucking hat, the the Bulls jacket.
Whenever
Bull.
whenever I think whenever I think back on it, I think about like what are the odds that fanny packs would be popular as the same time as MC Hammer pants? You
Yeah.
know,
Yep. Yep.
because I was rocking it, homie. You
Oh
know.
man, he says, what about the pegs in the 90s? And then little Timmy says, what about overalls? I remember the overalls. Wear
Uh,
the motherfucking flaps down.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Overalls with a red sweater, homie. Just a regular old red
yeah,
sweater. Some
yeah,
G Nikes.
overalls. And then yeah, man. Then they had the starter jacket. I seen the one on. Are they reselling them again too, bro? They showed the famous one, the Charlotte Hornets, with the which one I'm talking about. The hoodie you pull over. You have the fucking kangaroo pouch in the side right there, and had the little flap of the team with the, like a built-in fanny pack, basically.
Yeah.
They're big. I think
Whenever
they're.
whenever I got to Pier 1, they moved us into this room, and they were like, yeah, just put your stuff in there. And I opened up this closet, and there was one of those like you're talking about, but it was for the Seahawks. It was an old school starter one for the Seahawks, but I wasn't a Seahawks dude, and one of my homeboys was, and I brought it to him. That thing was dope. It was in like, it was probably from 91, maybe 92, and it was, I bet you it was an 8.5 out of 10 as far as condition. I mean, it was clean, dog, and he was all happy. Yeah.
Pogs. I remember Pogs too, bro. And then he said Filas, the Lugs. The Lugs were about the later coming in later '90s, but like the hardcore '90s when you first come in, they had the remember those hyper colored shirts they used to sell.
Yeah.
They're fucking
Yeah.
where it changed colors where you heat it up.
Fucking early '90s. You're talking like British Knights,
Yeah, the British Knights. And then like you said, the
L.A.
Filas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Uh,
did you ever used to square your snapback? Like put the fucking cardboard there and make it like I used to.
I was never. I was never a hat dude, man. I don't like shit on my head.
Yeah.
Never have. Yeah, I just don't like having stuff on my head, especially in California, dog. You know, it's fucking hot. You know what I mean? I don't even like it out here. Honestly, I don't even. I don't really wear hats. You'll rarely ever see me wear a hat or a beanie. Or it's got to be cold, dog, for me to put something on. I
Yeah.
just don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And do you remember the soundtracks when you go into the record store looking and they have like the Dickies and Ben Davis. Yeah. And
I
Dickies
can
were like
remember.
what, 10, $11 back in the day?
I remember we could steal. You could steal them from out there. You could steal Dickies from Walgreens. You could steal them from Walmart. Um, there was a lot of places, dog. Even in small towns. I'm talking. This is like Ukiah. Whenever I'm like 10 years old, 11 years old, uh, and there was still places you could go steal them. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, they just I don't know. I just started flooding back a bunch of memories and talking with that Kimmel Flicks on his page and started talking about the movie Colors, started, all the old school shit he posts on there or he or she. And it was just I was like, man, dude, that's fucking funny. Like that's just bringing we were talking about like the MC Hammer shit catchers. First tape was Jay-Z's Blueprint. Yeah, I remember that shit too. Jigga who? Jigga what? Remember when he was with what's his name? Big Daddy Kane, Jay-Z, back in the day.
I didn't listen to him back then.
No, I remember I listened to Big Daddy all the time. That motherfucker was dope. That first CD, man, Tupac. Okay, let me tell you about the Tupac, the All Eyes on Me. I had $40 left. I was a little kid and I was going to the mall to go buy some fucking bud. I was gonna go buy like an eighth of weed. And all up in Canada, all we have is chronic. There's no swag or anything. I didn't see swag till I moved to Colorado. So I go into the mall and I see I see all these CDs blasted on the front. Oh man, Reebok pumps, starter jackets. But I see all the Tupac CDs up on the fucking wall. I was like, what the fuck? And it was a double disc. So I go in there and I'm like, and it was like $22, bro. And I was like, shit. I was like, man, I really want to get that eighth of weed. Homie's about to meet me over here. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy this. And I went over there with the $18, $17. I was like, look, here's $17. I had to buy this CD. He's like, what? Where is that? I was like, it's over there. And I was just like, hey man, run me that till a couple days. I'll do some chores for my mom and get the other fucking few bucks. So he's like, yeah, I'll get it. He takes off and he goes and buys the CD. Oh, and you know who the fuck it was that I went to go meet at the mall? Speaking of, have you ever heard of Mad Child, the rapper? He's pretty
What's
dope
the name?
rapper, bro. Yeah, he's a rapper, bro. I went to go meet him, and this is when he was selling weed and fucking cassette tapes. And he was like doing tours and shit around Canada and stuff. He's a pretty dope rapper. But I fucking showed him that and was just like, hey, look, I got this fucking CD. And then I went home, and it ended up being like a whole party, bro. Because that's when you call your homie. He was like, check this out, and then hearing the first song on there, "The Ambition of a Writer." Do, do, do. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to fuck with me. Then it started coming with the piano. I was like, oh, fuck. Call a homie. Hey, check this out. Look what I got. He's like, oh shit, I'll be right over, bro. And he's like, who's that? And he's like, that's that Tupac. Call the other homie, look what I got. Look what I. Next thing you know, a bunch of motherfuckers coming over to the house with beer and bottles and weed and listening just to listen to that CD. That's how fucking.
Yeah.
That's a, to me, that was fun. Like I was like, man, it turned in. It was just a day out. Hey, I'm just gonna go smoke some weed, kick back, and ended up buying a CD, getting the weed, and fucking and yeah.
Do you remember whenever Machiavelli hit?
Oh man, right after he died, yeah, that one tripped me out.
That was crazy. That shit changed the game, dog.
It did. I was like,
He did.
yeah, definitely did. Yeah, he said Cortez classic Reeboks with that thick ass bottom, the Reeboks with the fucking rigid bottom. Yeah, that was when Champion T-shirts. Remember when people would make fun of you for wearing Champion T-shirts because they were only like $2 on the rack in the '90s? Oh, now it's like a cool. Like, fuck, you got to pay a shitload of money for them Champions.
There's a bunch of stuff like that went different ways too. Remember, like Stussy and Massimo?
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yeah,
They
then
sold out to Kmart or something like that, and then Kmart went under. And,
right?
but at one time, those were like top end brands, designer brands.
Yeah, yep. Right on, Big D. You want to jump on? Let's get D on here. Let's see.
Oh,
We're just chopping it up, talking about the '90s. But yeah, the Stussy. What was another one? Like a lot of the Tommy Hilfiger, the fucking polos. Started getting into that with the polo jeans. What other? Man, yeah, the '90s. But the whole thing was like when you bought.
Tab.
Yeah, Silver Tab. And then like the whole get down of like the whole it was just fun, bro. That was when that movie.
A lot of white t-shirts.
Yeah.
A lot of white t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
And bleaching of the clothes. A lot of bleach, dog.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of bleach. A
lot of ironing.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, there was, but the main thing was like, being able to, okay, so if you at that time, if you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to stay home with the family, being a kid, and we go to Blockbuster Video or any other video and go spend like 2-3 hours just walking around trying to find fucking movies to kick back and watch for the weekend. You know what I mean? That one was crazy too. Then they had that, yeah, Jenko, holy fuck, my homeboy used to wear those super baggy super baggy pants, bro, with like the belt, chain belts or the wallet chains and the
wallet chains, yeah.
Yeah.
Wallet chains.
Yeah, now we're getting into like the Limp Bizkit, man, they had a bunch of like hop, what is it? What do they call that? Almost like boys, what is that? Backstreet Boy type fucking music bands back then too, even for the rock.
Boy bands.
Yeah, boy bands. Yeah, it's a little hopper.
Yeah.
So I've got a shirt on. Go put a shirt on. I don't want to get flagged for. My son doesn't have a shirt on. He was trying to jump on. I was like, no, go get a shirt on. How much? How about the St. Ives 40 ounce? Do you remember drinking? Oh man, I remember somebody bringing up the 64s. Did you ever kill a 64? Of Old English?
The St. Ives special.
Yeah,
I hated that shit.
Man, I like. You know what? I like St. Ives better than Old English. Yeah. Yeah. And
I didn't like malt liquor. I never
big old Carl Rossi fucking wine bottles. Oh my God. Yeah, the Tommy Hilfiger. Man, they had the whole, just the whole 90s vibe was dope, man. It was a lot of fun. Even just thinking
Three
about it, just like,
fucking
yeah.
3-6 Mafia. Late
Yeah,
90s, 3-6 Mafia.
man, there was like 50 members on one song. Just spitting. They were getting it.
It's true.
They were fucking
Yeah,
that was yeah. Holy shit,
yeah.
Daniel
It's true.
Gonzalez is 64-ounce of Mickey's. Man, them Mickey's get you going. They used to have the little message under that big ass fucking top you fucking can't roll off, and it'll say like a little tiny thing under there. It was
Did you see
yeah.
that they stopped selling those big ass beers because they said they were racist?
Really?
Yeah, because rappers kept having 40s in their videos, dog, and then they said it was like a cultural thing or something. They
No
called it
shit.
racist.
I didn't even. I wonder what the fuck happened to those.
Remember,
Yeah.
40s were popular. 40 ounces were popular. You barely see them at all
Yeah,
anymore.
they were all in the rap videos. They were, you know what I mean? I was just what if that fucking I was just watching that too. What is their name again? That song Gangsterlean. This is dedicated to my homies
Oh yeah.
in Gangsterlean. And they're all they tip my 40. I was like, damn. Yeah, they call big mouth grenade bottles of Mickey's. Damn, I'm getting a hangover just talking about that shit.
What
And
about the
then,
Ford Taurus? The Ford Taurus, homie.
man, and then I blame keep it down, Junior. And then I blame Snoop Dogg for people buying fucking just crazy amounts of 40s from that fucking gin and juice video, I think it is, where they opened the fridge and it was just all packed for fucking what is it?
40s.
The whole fridge was all packed with 40s from the fucking freezer
Yeah.
on down, and showing come in and grabbing the 40. After that, everybody was just showing up with like cases and cases of 40s. I was like, holy fuck. Oh shit! I'm about to kick back right here, find a spot on the floor over here, because I ain't going nowhere.
It was a lot cheaper back then too.
Yeah, they were like fucking $2.50, $1.80.
In the 90s, you get a 40 for like $2, dog. Yeah.
Yeah, it says "Homie" song by Homicide out of Sac. I'm gonna
Shit, you
check
used to,
that out.
be able to get.
Yeah, the
You used to be
'90s.
able to get a 22 of. You used to be able to get a 22 of Bud Light for like 98 cents.
Yeah, 22 quarter beer, quarter
Some steel.
40
Steel
ounce on my
Reserve.
lap, and it's freezing my balls.
You get a
Yeah.
tall can of Steel Reserve for 99 cents. 24 ounces.
Yeah, man.
You'd be
That
straight.
was back when it was like, man, I really did have 5 on it. Just fucking throw it out on the bag with the homie, get a couple beers, and be good. Oh man, he says, remember Crazy Horse, 40 ounce. God damn. Yep.
You get like 2 beers and a pack of cigarettes for $5 real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
5 to get you a fat joint. You know what I mean?
Get depending on which one too though. GPS, remember GPS cigarettes out there in Colorado? Yeah. Yeah, man. That's some crazy shit. Yeah, that was let me see. What else was banging out in the 90s? Oh, when Wu-Tang and all them started coming out too in the 90s. Wu-Tang. Who else? Redman. Redman started coming out. Shit. All kinds of fun times, man. Yeah, so what you got planned today?
I'm actually in the middle of helping my mom move. I'm about to jump off with you right now.
Oh, all right, brother. All right, hit me up.
Yeah.
Do you got an IG?
Yeah, but I don't ever pay attention to it. I talk to people on the community page. I kind of treat the community page like it's Facebook.
All right,
So
cool shit. Bet.
I hit you up on your community page.
Yeah, I seen that this morning.
Yeah, and
I
that's
know my lady was like, "You still?" My
I
lady's
just
like,
don't
"You
pay
still get up
attention
at
to
5:30 in the
Instagram.
morning?" Like, yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Erkin
I'm
jerk.
gonna let you
Oh
go.
my God, some EJ. Fucking like $7 a fifth. Thank you, Gaglish. That was cool you tapping in, man. Yeah, that was Erkin jerk. That was man. That was definitely a poor man at that time. So that was a poor man fucking walking around with that big old fucking thing of Erkin jerk, that diamond shaped bottle. Just mine was Erkenjerk and fucking Dr. Pepper. That was my fucking, like, I'd be walking around the house party with the fucking Palmies. Oh man. What else? And then fucking Zimas. People were fucking drinking Zimas at a house party. I remember that shit. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was like a 7 Up almost. So I tried. I was like, what the fuck is that? It looks pretty cool. And it's like, it tastes like a fucking 7 Up, bro. What else they had of in the 90s? They had the I think Red Dog started coming out around about that time. Um, shit. But yeah, it's just like little things, little subjects that just bring like a little bit of joy back. Like, man, I remember that shit. I remember when the homie was alive. I remember when this family member was alive at that time. I remember back jokes at the party. Oh man, King Cobra. Oh my God, dude. That was like the hard one. I mean, besides the Crazy Horse one too. That one, because man, I remember the King Cobras. Those were fucking vicious. They had and before what the hell was that? Aftershock, that fucking cinnamon gold slogger. Um, that's when like the '90s. That's when you start hustling, start selling a little bit of bud, and be like, hey, look, I got a little bit of money. I'm gonna go buy me some cognac. I'm gonna buy me some fucking Alizé, just because Tupac was talking about it. Some Alizé champagne, some Thug Passion. Man, this is sometimes, man. Yeah, it was the music was definitely a good vibe. The fashion was pretty crazy. Brass Monkey, holy shit, that song was even dope too. Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. But yeah, man, let's get a little healing going on. Go ahead and burn some sage for you guys. Get the day going. I still got to get some more coffee. I gotta go grab some stuff. About to start hustling. About to go sell some Indian tacos, man. It was just a little something I want to jump on and be like, man, this is super dope. Like, just the whole idea. Like when me and my lady were talking about it too, we're talking about all these different drinks, the King Cobras, the 40s, and it was just like. And then they had like the fucking Dollar Tree Lokes. Yeah, I had to smudge you guys real quick. Get some. Let me see what else was. Man, it was just fun all around, man. It was definitely some fun times. And what else was popping in the '90s that doesn't pop no more? You see the 40 ounces. I don't drink no more, so um, but yeah, just getting a hangover thinking of all these fucking malt liquors that we used to torture our young bodies with, man. Holy fuck. They went down smoothly. I mean, man, yeah, Red Dog beer. Uh, looked cool like a motherfucker. People knew knew he was about it. Up there fucking with some Dickies or Ben Davis on with a motherfucking big old 40 ounce. Drinking out in public with the motherfucker. Oh man. Um, let's see what else is popping in the '90s. Like just like the whole music. My thing is like Naughty by Nature. That was like a lot of good partying music, man. Um, I remember hearing that for the first time. That OPP. I bought the cassette tape. I had a Sony fucking yellow Walkman. I had. they've opened on the side. You open it up, and there's a fucking little thing you can open up and put the two AA batteries in. I think it was two, or was it 2 or 4? I think it was 2. Put your little fucking cassette tape in. Had the little fucking sponge headphones. You put it on, put it over. Depending on what kind. Like if you're a baller, you had like really nice headphones that came up, and I remember listening to that. Ghetto Bastard, Naughty by Nature. Shaq even tried to come out with some music. The Fushnikins. Who else, man? Apache came out with that. I Need a Gangsta Bitch. Poetic Justice soundtrack was dope too. Coolio, Warren G. The Twins, and then they came out with that soundtrack. I think it was, the hell was it? Was it The Ride? They had that song "Summertime in the LBC." Man, oh, what other? Okay, there was Naughty by Nature, KRS-One. Dang, just the list and the classics. Just 5 on it. The Loonies. Yuck Mouth started coming out with his own stuff. Man, a lot of good memories, man. A lot of good fucking memories about that shit. What other ones? Yeah, just a lot of great stuff. A lot of great memories. The cross colors. What other fashions they're making? He brought up Janko pants. That's. I think they were like, I seen this ad that they're gonna try to bring that back out. Man, let's see what's cracking. But yeah, I better go get some supplies. Got my brats going crazy. Appreciate you guys tapping in with the Lucky Loco show, man. Just wanted to chop it up and fucking bring up a little bit of laughter, bring about some memories. Because man, there's some cool times, man. Some real cool times. It's Lucky Loco. Hit that like and subscribe on the way out. Comment, help the channel grow, man. I really appreciate it.